'Cause it's time to move on now. It's time for Murder Blues.
Woo, woo.
That's the sound of. I don't know what the fuck that was the sound of.
God damn it, you were just doing it, and then you get onto the camera, and you fucking make me look like a silly bitch. Fuck you, Brian.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police.
The thing that I just... Fuck you both. Fuck you too, Kim.
Man. It wouldn't be an episode if Rod didn't lose his shit for a second at least.
That's the sound that I need. Sorry.
Dude, after last week where I have to replace my water heater, which cost me $3,700, and then dealing with more flaky women in the online dating, I would like not bad things to happen for like 18 seconds. 18 seconds.
Yeah.
I say we write a petition to have Rod the Cod get a good lady friend. Also, I don't know if we did this and if I had just zoned out, but we're the Murder Moose podcast.
Part of the Slash and Cast podcast network.
It's in the game.
It's in the game.
It's in Ken's ass.
My ass. Sorry.
Ken.
Good times.
You are a national treasure. You need to know that. So whatever country that you're a treasure to, are you fleeing Canada here soon again?
In a little bit, yeah. I'll be back in the States for a bit.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about that last time that I was here.
Yeah.
I missed the last episode, didn't I?
Yeah. We watched Sting, which was more.
Like a shit bag. I missed it.
We've done more and more, like, we've been doing housing project movies apparently lately, and that's probably what inspired me to talk about this one, because that's the last one was very housing projects one. Sting was good though, Brian. You should watch it, but like, it had a lot to do with Infested, like a lot of the same concepts. Just
really? Oh, okay.
Just alien spiders this time, and
the alien spiders. Fuck yeah! Because as if you know. Earthling spiders aren't enough of a fucking issue.
I mean,
now we got alien spiders.
Infested had like Dubai spiders that don't exist and made them up, right? So it was pretty similar, but
yes, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, how the fuck are you, beautiful people? How are you, Brian? How are you, Ken? How was your week off, Brian?
Oh, it was good, ish. It's I started a new job at my job, and apparently I'm doing fine. My bosses seem to really, really like me. The job's pretty kick-ass. I have a lot of downtime during the night. Like I could take naps and shit. So that's pretty dope. But when I'm busy, I'm fucking busy.
Dude, so. I did that thing again. I took a nap on accident yesterday, and I fucking hate taking a nap on accident. Actually, I hate naps. Like every single
what
time.
What kind of grown adult are you? I've never met a grown ass adult that's like, I don't like naps.
I don't like naps either because I wake up feeling worse.
Yeah, exactly. I felt hungover for the rest of the night.
You guys aren't napping right.
Well, dude,
like, you're not napping right.
I streamed for like 6 hours and beat Metal Gear Solid, which, by the way, I was yelling at like a lunatic because that is one giant fat cat, by the way. Holy shit, Stripes is huge. But that fucking game is 26 years old or 28, something like that. It's like 26 years old. And it is, the controls at the end of that game are so infuriating. I was yelling at it and getting mad about it because it was like, yeah, whatever.
Was that your first playthrough of Metal
Gear
Solid?
I hadn't played it since like the GameCube version, the Twin Snakes version.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And so then I went and mowed my lawn.
Use a remake.
Yeah. And hurt my back. Could use a remake.
Oh.
Hurt my back mowing my lawn, which is I think the second time I've done that in a month.
That's At least you didn't do it bending over to pick up your dog's food bowl.
I mean,
that's what happened to me.
I
didn't know I needed to stretch to feed my fucking pet. But that's my reality nowadays.
So someone was like, "How do you do that?" And I think it's because I have a hill in my backyard, and when I was going up and down the hill, it went up it funny or something. I don't fucking know. Probably. And hurt my back.
Also,
anytime anybody's like, "How did you do that to get hurt?" I remind myself that I've given myself a black eye putting on deodorant, and that I've ripped every tendon in one of my ankles by literally falling off of third base. Like, you just do. It just happens.
Yeah. Brian, I don't know if you are diagnosed ADHD like us. I mean, you get along with us, so I just kind of assume you're ADHD like us. But I mean, I look down at my shins on a regular basis and go, where are all these cuts and scrapes and scabs from? Because I have no fucking clue. I run into shit all the time. Had no idea what I ran into, when I ran into it.
Oh, yeah.
I am just like, yeah.
We're also getting up there too, man. You're right behind me, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die in the near future, old and alone, and sad.
No.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
I'll move you in with me, and we'll become partners before I let that happen.
Okay. Brian, I'm not a sloppy power bottom. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. It's just
every power bottom is sloppy.
True. Why does the term sloppy power bottom exist? Is my next question. I don't know.
I don't know if that exists or something you just made up.
No, I didn't make it up. It's a thing, Mr. Brian. Ken, have you finished Game of Thrones yet?
No, I'm gonna watch some more tonight. We're like season 7.
There's a snake.
You only got one more, right?
Yeah.
There's a snake attacking your face, Ken.
I see that. I have been listening through the A Court of Thorns and Roses graphic audiobooks, and today I finished A Court of War or Wings and Fury. No. Yeah. Whatever. Wings and Ruin, whatever, the 3rd book, and it's the best book other than the 5th. And I have never really gotten into graphic audio, but today I was on the treadmill and I was running.
What is graphic audio?
They have they have actors instead of just one person like reading the book. They have different actors that like vocally act out the book, and they include like sounds and music and everything. And so like today I got to the end and it's like this big war. It's a huge war. And I got goosebumps and I was like running on the treadmill and I was like, holy fuck, this is intense. This is so much better than when I read it. Like, it was so good.
So it's like the MXD version of reading books. So
yeah.
You go to the movie theater for the like 4D or whatever they call it.
Yeah, because like I downloaded the regular audiobook version of the first one, and I was like, this is horrible. How do people listen to audiobooks? This sucks. Like, dude, what the fuck is this?
There's some real bad fucking narrators for fucking audiobooks. Go listen to the Hunger Games books, and the fucking woman who narrates those Hunger Games books is like, and then Katniss went and shot an arrow, and it's like monotone the entire time, and I'm just like, how did
that's how the first book was. And I was like, what the because I did a preview of it, and then I was like, graphic audio, what's that? And I listened to it and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And now I'm hooked, but they're $18 a book.
Oh Jesus.
And this third book was 3 parts.
3? God damn.
3 parts.
Dude, so all I could think of is that, like, for every one of those, though, that's terrible, there's, like, you read any of the Harry Potter books, like, the audio versions, fucking fantastic, because that person's doing the voices for everyone. And I was going to say, you made me think, I'm finishing up, I am on, like, hour 54 of 57 of the book 4 of the Stormlight Chronicles from Brandon Sanderson. And I was driving to work on Thursday, I think it was, crying as I'm going through the gates. I'm like, here's my badge. And there's just like tears going through. And like, luckily I had sunglasses on too, but I'm just like, just and then I just drive through and I'm like, I hope he didn't notice. I don't care if he did, but it would just make it a little less awkward. So that was, yeah, I understand, Ken. It's funny because there are wide variances of what the quality of audiobooks are, and
yeah, it's wild. Like, I was shocked. And then now, like, once I finish, because I'm working through the Throne of Glass series, and there's 8 of those. But once I finish reading those, I want to go through and do the graphic audio. And I'm like, I don't think I can afford it because I also want to do the Empyrean books and like. But at least she makes the sex scenes better.
And then his throbbing.
So do they have the sound effects for that too?
They have like the sounds of them like making out and stuff, and it's really awkward. That part I don't like. But like, you know, when she's like, my bowels turned watery, it actually sounded better than when I read it and was like,
Ken and her fucking fascination with watery balls. Can we stop talking about the watery balls?
Bowels.
I know
bowels,
it,
bro.
I said bowels, or I was trying to say bowels.
The fascination is that how do you utilize that in both a sexual manner as well as a I got scared manner, because she does both of those.
As a woman, I would assume that a watery vagina means you're very horny, and so that would be kind of like, but the bowel word doesn't make sense in that context. But, and then the obvious normal ones, you got scared and pooped yourself, and which is
my bowels loosened as his entire length of him freed from his.
You never had the shit fucked out of you, dude? Like, isn't that what they're saying?
I don't think I have.
I mean, but I don't. Yeah. I'm just gonna stop talking now.
That was beautiful. Tell me more.
I just blue screened in the middle of the podcast, and here we are. Brian, what you been watching, my man?
I've been trying to watch An Violent Nature, but I can't find it anywhere, and I just don't want to go to the movie theater.
It's only at Alamo, isn't it? Because like Alamo's putting
no,
it
it's
out.
playing at there's 2 theaters playing it here in Kansas City. It's playing at like the AMC's here in Kansas City and stuff. I just haven't. I don't want to go to the movie theater. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. But oh well, I'll fucking watch it. But other than that, I watched The Fall Guy the other day.
So I was watching that on Josh's Plex, and it got to like 2/3 of the way through the film, and then the audio desynced, and I couldn't handle it, so I never finished watching it. I will say this:
really liked it.
2 of the fucking sexiest people in the world, Ryan Gosling and fucking Emily Blunt. And both of them are so underappreciated because Emily Blunt's in one of those movies that I think never got any of the credit it deserved. Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow is a fucking bomb-ass movie that no one ever saw.
This one's going out the same way, dude.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it went out this movie real bad. And then Gosling, who is he's a Canadian sex symbol, and I would do very nerdy and naughty things to him, I was saying, but he's a very sexy man. And,
he's gorgeous.
And and he's also very underappreciated because everything he does is awesome, and it just none of it gets credit. Like fucking Drive is one of the greatest movies ever. I love that fucking movie. And
Drive is really good. I like it. I like that movie a lot. So Blade Runner 2049, he's really good in that also. Of course, that got like massive critical scores, but nobody went and seen it because nobody wanted to go sit in a theater for 4 fucking hours.
Dude, that movie is visually one of the most striking films you will ever watch. Like, the story was fine. I think that movie is all about the visuals, but like, man, and
I like that movie a lot.
It just makes me. You made me think about like how Harrison Ford is obviously Deckard Cain, or not Deckard Cain. What the fuck is his name? Deckard Cain's the guy from Diablo.
Deckard,
yeah.
Deckard.
And then now he's in they're making an Indiana Jones video game, and I keep laughing at the concept that they paid Harrison Ford all this money to use his likeness in this game, and then it's first person, and it just, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and they didn't even use his voice either.
No,
they used voicing it.
But it's not like they used some scrub on the internet who could do a Harrison. They used Troy Baker. They used
Yeah,
Troy.
they got a
Baker.
great. Yeah, Troy Baker's great.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's great, but it's like,
great.
okay, Harrison Ford costs 10 million and Troy Baker costs $1 million. Just use 9 more million, you fucks, if you're gonna like use Troy Baker anyways. God damn, Troy Baker.
Well, maybe he didn't want to. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Harrison Ford doesn't seem like he wants to do all that much anymore. Like, he's in the next Captain America movie, and the only reason he like signed up to do it is because he's gonna be the Red Hulk, so he doesn't have to do anything.
Oh.
They're just
Yeah,
gonna-
he's gonna
they're
be
just-
what's his face? Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, he's Thunderbolt Ross because the other guy died.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I haven't been paying attention to anything Marvel since. I think the last thing that I really gave a shit Marvel related was the that last Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, dude, I don't
But
know.
I'll watch like the new Venom movie.
Dude,
I
that
like
new
the previous like generation or whatever they're called. Like once it ended with
Phase.
Endgame,
phase.
like-
yes.
yeah, I kind of was like, all right, I'm done. Like I liked Loki, the show, but like
Mhm.
I didn't really get into a lot of the other ones. Like Winter Soldier or whatever wasn't bad, or Falcon and Winter Soldier or whatever. But like I didn't really get into any of the
Yeah.
other ones. It
Dude,
just wasn't for me.
That
I need to
She-Hulk-
watch Moon Knight. I've heard Moon Knight.
I
was
did
really
watch
good.
Moon Knight. Moon Knight was pretty good.
Yeah, I like
That was
Moon
good,
Knight.
too.
She-Hulk.
And the werewolf one was pretty
She-Hulk
good.
was okay.
Oh, that was awesome.
People hated that.
Yeah.
And then, but that Samuel, the Secret Invasion show. Oh my god, I was like, I couldn't. I was like,
Excuse me.
yeah. It was just. I was just like, this is bad. This is real bad. And
So the Acolyte came out.
yes,
Star Wars stuff.
Yeah,
I
I,
like
saw
that
that
Acolyte.
coming out.
Did you watch it?
I like that light. Yes.
Okay, because I've heard good things. I've heard it's really good.
So it's funny. I was doing the show with my buddy Sheepy, and he was shitting all over it. And I'm like, you can turn your brain off, but Carrie-Anne Moss is in it for a little bit, and then like, I just think that the kung fu murder mystery thing is interesting. And,
That sounds fun as hell.
Yeah.
That sounds so fun to me.
The thing is, man. So I understand Star Wars. I mean, I understand Marvel. Like you're just tired of Marvel things, and then people transfer that over to Star Wars. I'm like, Star Wars has barely done anything besides television shows, and they haven't even done that many. I think it's because it's Disney. They're like, oh, it's the same thing, and they just like
It's
fucking lump
just
it.
popular to hate Disney right now, honestly.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just
Yeah.
people just want to hate Disney.
Even
And that's
Boba
fine.
Fett
Whatever.
was whatever, but like it wasn't bad. It went like, and there's not nearly like
I
Ahsoka.
think that the problem. You're right. People will hate Disney, but the thing that what they hate about it is that even when they put something out that's mediocre, it's still better than most people's best efforts.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Because
Well,
watch
yeah.
the Solo movie, the Han Solo movie. Easily one of the worst Star Wars movies in the past probably 10 years.
It's just forgettable.
It's
yeah.
still good. It's still fun. It's still a fun movie.
It's just
still good.
forgettable. It was just forgettable.
It is.
Yeah,
It is a
it's-
bit forgettable,
yeah.
yes, but I mean, it's still better than a lot of other things.
Yeah.
It's still good.
I just don't understand it because I understand the Marvel fatigue. They made Kevin Feige go crazy, and they started doing shit that they should never have done, and they went overboard. And then they made 3 Ant-Man movies, and I will say that third Ant-Man movie, I don't think I was even sober when I watched it, and I'm sitting there going,
Even watch it.
what is the CG in this film? And I don't understand it.
I heard it was bad. Yeah, I heard it looked
Yeah.
terrible.
But then Captain Marvel, which I thought was fun, and people are just like, "Ugh." I
I haven't
ju-
watched it.
I just think that, man, let people enjoy what they want, and I just think that people get way too much joy. My end statement in all this is people get way too much joy in shitting on stuff, and it's just like,
People
it's-
relish in hatred.
yeah,
They just relish in it. When they announced the Jason Universe shit, let's talk about something horror related for a second. They announced all that Jason Universe stuff and how they're gonna try and incorporate Jason into as many media things as they can. And the first thing that they announced was that Jason's going to be part of that free multiverses video.
yeah.
and the haters came out. Like they announced Jason Universe, and the first thing, and this is their big plan, is to put him in. I'm like, guys, like, I'm so sorry that a movie just didn't fucking materialize out of nowhere for you. You know, that they just didn't shit a fucking another basic shitty Friday the 13th movie out.
Yeah.
But first of all, he looks fucking cute as shit. The little character they made for that Multiverses game looks cute as fuck. You can perform the sleeping bag kill in it and the fucking bed kill from Freddy versus Jason in it.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers did their homework, okay? Because that's awesome as fuck.
Yeah.
And yes, I will be trying. I haven't tried it yet. I will.
And I hate to tell you, motherfuckers, all of this still means that I don't think we're gonna get another Friday the 13th movie until Victor Miller or Sean Cunningham dies. One of those two motherfuckers has to die.
Honestly, I'm on the opposite end of that. I think we're gonna get a new movie in the next 2 years.
I just keep hearing
they're gonna announce a new movie in the next 2 years.
I just keep hearing about how those rights are fucking garbage because they both are like Victor Cunningham got like the name Jason or whatever. He got the name Jason and everything, and then Sean Cunningham got the mask and it was just like okay, but then like with television they could do whatever the fuck they want, and it's just like okay, I don't know. I hope you're right, and I hope they do something because I think a good Friday the 13th movie would be because it's like we're sitting here in 2024.
A good Friday the 13th movie would be a unicorn, but I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sitting there. We have Scream coming back and whatever, but like, let's be real. I mean, how many good Friday
the time?
Yeah. How many Friday? But how many Friday the 13th movies are good? Let's state back. We have two. We have.
2,
4,
maybe
and
3.
4 and 6.
Yeah, 4 and 6. I don't even think the first one's a good movie.
Oh no, I like
it.
I will watch 5 any day of the week over 1 because guess what? I watch Friday the 13th for Jason Voorhees.
Go there, but
and at least on 5 they act like it's Jason Voorhees reverse the movie. I mean.
My boy Roy, Roy was fucking.
Roy, dude, I'm sorry.
The irony in that, the funny thing about that is, it wasn't even Jason, but he stacked up a body count higher than in any Jason movie.
And it was a porno. It was a porno for most of it because they hired a porno director. Yeah, they hired a porno director. Okay.
Fuck her harder.
I don't think I've watched all that shit. I don't think I've watched anything else this week. I don't know, after my fucking thing. So let's just dive into Attack the Block. Ken,
I'm glad you picked this movie, guys.
You know why?
I've never seen it.
Oh, you've never seen it either?
I hadn't seen it either.
I had never seen it. I'm so glad you picked it.
Dude, this movie is fucking fantastic. And I was saying
it's fun.
I was talking with Brian about how, like, before King got on, how this movie has so many people that are really big stars now. I mean, not really big. I mean, John Boyega is a giant star, right? But it's got Jodie, what's her name?
Jodie Whittaker, yeah.
Jodie Whittaker, yeah.
Yeah, a.k.a. the Doctor. And then the other the black kid who got his head ripped off was in he played Firestorm on the CW Arrowverse. But this movie is so much fun, and like the reason why I picked it was I was telling Brian, and like Ken was kind of there when I kind of went through my brain process last week. It was that we've been watching these public housing kind of movies with Infested and then Sting, and it kind of thought like that kind of concept like kind of transitioned over, and man, now that I know both you motherfuckers haven't watched this movie, I want to hear from you. Ken first, go. Ken, talk.
So the synopsis is very short. A teen gang in South London defend their block from an alien invasion. Coming into it, I didn't know what to expect whatsoever. And as it started, I realized now that I think I like their style of rap because it's great. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It didn't take itself seriously. It was goofy. It was kind of scary at moments. And it was what, 2011?
11, yep.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't
2000
remember hearing about like Vanta Black before, like maybe around that time was like the first time I heard of Vanta Black, and then like the aliens being Vanta Black was really cool. I don't know. I thought it was great, and yeah, the kid that plays Moses, who plays Finn in the Star Wars movies, he did such a great job in this. Like,
Yeah, he was really good.
and so did what is this guy's name? Is it? Yeah, sorry, I'm having to look around my cat. Luke Treadaway. He was great. He was the blonde-haired
Yeah,
guy
the
that just
little-
wanted to get his weed.
Yeah, he just wanted to get his weed.
Brian and I were talking about him before you got on, Ken, about how this guy has like the worst fucking day ever. As like,
Yeah.
pretty
it's
shit,
like-
pretty shit day.
he just has he just goes and wants to buy some weed, and
then a fucking alien lands on his dad's car and shit. Yeah.
yeah, and he just has a really bad time. And it's funny because this whole movie, we were talking about Marvel stuff. Is Joe Cornish wrote and directed this, who then later he's known for writing the screenplays for things like Ant-Man, The Adventures of Tinted, The Kid Who
Lockwood and Company.
Yeah, Lockwood, which if you haven't watched is fucking highly underrated, and it was only one season and it got canceled by fucking Netflix. You fucking assholes.
That sounds like something
But-
they would do.
That sounds right.
I mean, that's fucking Netflix, man. That's like the problem with Netflix. That's like, I saw something probably a couple months ago, or someone was talking about some show on Netflix, and I was like, I'm not gonna get invested because Netflix will go out and just say fuck you and cancel it. They can't even give me a second season of How to Build a Sex Room. I just want a little old British lady.
I just want them to
cursing.
finish fucking Glow.
I mean,
Oh
Glow,
yeah, I forgot about Glow.
Glow. I
Glow
would
was
love.
fucking awesome.
I would love that they fucking finish Mindhunters, because Mindhunters
Yeah.
is fucking fantastic.
Oh, that was
And-
so good.
Yeah, and they did 2 seasons, and they spent the whole fucking second season setting up the fucking BTK killer, and then they fucking don't do anything about him, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
you fucks, and just like Netflix, you fuck you. And the only, it's funny because they've given, I really like Big Mouth. They give Big Mouth like 8 seasons. They've done spin-offs, all this shit, but it's just Nick Kroll being fucking stupid for like 40 minutes at a time. And I'm like, okay, I appreciate this, but you cancel every other fucking thing that you do, you motherfuckers. Goddamn Netflix. So yeah, so it's funny because like this director has done a lot, and I think that like the this movie, I mean, is British. This movie is very British. Were you both like watching this movie and going, I don't know what these kids are fucking saying half the time, but like,
No, I
Okay.
understood them fine.
I mean, I understood what they were saying. It's just the
Oh,
slang.
you just know what they meant.
Yeah,
The
it's-
slang?
Yeah, the
Okay, I-
slang.
There were a
is
few
very-
things of slang that I was like, what? But
Yeah, like they say bruv like 8 million
Bruv.
times. Yeah,
Bruv.
it's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like bruv, and it's just like I think the skinny like white kid is my favorite character in this whole movie.
Yeah.
because he's just like,
When he gets the shit bit out of his leg.
yeah, and he's just like talking shit the entire time and never shuts the fuck up. And it's like even when the was it Top Hat? What the fuck is that kid? The drug dealer's name? Whatever. But like
Oh,
is it-
that was what the fuck was his
it was-
Hi Hats.
Hi
Yeah.
hats. I knew it was something hat, like or head or whatever. But yeah, that dude, man, you're like, ah, this motherfucker. It's funny, man, because it's one of these movies where they take it and you instantly don't like any of the main characters because they
Right.
they rob Jodie. They rob the doctor. How can you rob Doctor? Also, the doctor. Jodie Whittaker looks significantly better as a blonde, I think, than as a brunette. But like, I don't know.
I will disagree respectfully, but I understand.
Maybe I have a thing for blondes, as I've been trying to date. Again,
Maybe.
but maybe I don't know. Kin, what's your opinion? Jodie Whittaker better as a blonde or a brunette?
I thought she looked great as both. I think she's definitely a natural brunette.
Yeah.
Like, even just looking at photos of her, she's a natural brunette. But
yeah.
she,
I don't know.
this was what, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
She's
And women-
aged really, really well because
I
she
mean,
Yeah,
doesn't
she
look
has.
like she's aged much at all.
Because
No, she's still gorgeous.
She didn't
Yeah.
get to be Doctor Who until like 2021 or 2020 or something.
23,
Like
I think.
That's when she finished up.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're probably right.
Because
Yeah,
then
she started Doctor Who 2017.
she was
Oh,
yeah.
God
So it
dang,
was like through 2020.
God,
then I
that doesn't
assume.
feel
Yeah.
like it was that long ago.
2022. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it was that long ago. That's
We're
crazy.
old, Brian. That's why it doesn't feel like it was so long ago. I would say I think that this movie does a lot, like where they take that. I think it's really hard to take main characters that you don't like and make them like redeemable, and this movie does a really good job of that. Like with the
They do.
because it's like that thing where it's these. It's funny because America gets shit for gun violence, but if you don't know, London especially has real bad knife violence, and this thing is like, and obviously knife violence significantly less bad than fucking gun violence, but it just shows how violence is kind of like, it's kind of glorified in like the ghetto community or the this kind of community where like people don't have a lot of money, and it's like all these kids are like robbing people for fucking because they got nothing else to do, so they just rob people and shit like that.
They're
and,
just bored and stuff.
yeah, it's like none of them really
Bored and poor.
Bored
mean,
and poor.
Moses is the only one you kind of get to in the long run that Moses was like, oh yeah, his like he lives with his uncle who I think was his uncle, whoever it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
was
his
his uncle, but
Yeah.
he just comes and goes.
Yeah.
Mainly goes.
But
Yeah, and
got
he's
that-
only like 15. He's there. He's taking care of himself, literally.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's like, why do you have like it looks like a little kid's bed? He's got like a Spider-Man bed or something like that because he's like
Yeah, because she asks him, she's like, "Do you have a little brother?"
yeah.
And he's like, "No." And she's
Yeah.
like, "How old are you?" And he says he's 15. And she says, "You look older."
Dude, yeah, John Boyega
Thanks.
looks he looks like about 20. in
He was
this.
32 in this movie. No, I'm sorry.
Well,
I
now
mean-
I want to know.
Yeah, we
When-
gotta find out.
when was he a Jedi? I don't know.
He's 32 now.
Yeah. So in this shot 13 years ago. So yeah, I mean that makes
19.
sense.
I can't get over when they cast kids as teenagers and they're like this person is 14 and you look and they're like, this person's actually 22.
Yeah.
I get like if you hire
James Marsden was like 30 years old when he played an 18-year-old in Disturbing Behavior or some shit like that. I
Yeah.
can't remember. He was.
I mean, hell, there was that one guy on Lizzie McGuire that was like 30 and played a 14-year-old or something.
Dude.
That's like the fucking Harry Potter films. Moaning Myrtle was
Oh
like,
my god,
she-
yes.
she was
I
doing-
love her.
she was doing
She-
those she was doing those
She was
other
doing
movies.
Bridget Jones'
Yeah.
Diary movies
At the
as
same
Oh,
like
God,
the
was
cool
she?
hip, older friend, and then she's murdered.
I'm like, why did you hire a 30-year-old to play
Bridget Jones movie? I've heard of them, obviously.
Oh,
but-
I love those are my guilty pleasure. I'm
Are they?
depressed. I've got to sit down and watch them. I watch them multiple times a year. And I love Bridget Jones' Diary. They're trash. They're absolute trash.
It's very much it's
Pure
very much-
garbage.
it's like, why is Hugh Grant so goddamn sexy? Why Hugh Grant? Why? Save some for the rest of us, Hugh Grant.
Oh, is he in those movies?
Yeah,
Is
he's
Hugh
the-
Oh,
Grant
yeah.
in those? Oh,
He's the-
okay.
he's
I've
the
never
love-
seen a Bridget Jones movie in my
He's the
life.
love interest in all those movies. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. It's
It takes three. Was there three of those?
yeah, because it's like 1 and
Um,
2, and then her wedding is the third one. I think I never saw the third
1 and 2, and then her baby.
Or is it her baby? Is the
Oh,
third one?
okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
Brid-
her baby's the third
Yeah.
one.
is he
Um,
the dad?
I think so, if I recall.
It
I
took
watched this,
3 movies for them to make a kid.
He's not the dad in the third one. There's a possibility of 2 people, including McDreamy, the guy who plays
Patrick
McDreamy.
Dempsey?
Yeah, he's in
I
the
love
third
Patrick
one.
Dempsey.
He's a possible father. It's great. It's so good. It's so good. Listen, they're all trash. You have to watch them all and then feel really questionable
We
about
need to
your
do
decisions.
a Patreon episode where me and Rod watch the Bridget Jones
Yes.
movies.
Yes. It
I'm
looks
gonna
like they're
just-
doing a new one. What? They are. They're doing a new one next year.
Well,
I
she
think-
just won an Academy Award, didn't she? Or
Probably.
nominated, because I know she was nominated for playing Judy Garland in that biopic.
I don't know.
They're doing
What's her
Bridget
name?
Jones, Mad
April
About a
O'Neil?
Boy next year.
I What's her name? It's Renee.
Renee Zellweger.
Renee Zellweger. Yeah. I think I watched those.
She's pretty.
Yeah.
But she's got to be in her mid-50s at this point, right?
She's
like,
55.
Yeah.
She's exactly mid-50.
So look at that.
She still
I nailed
looks
it.
like fucking gorgeous.
Oh no, I'm not saying you're wrong. She's a very pretty lady.
Super pretty.
Still got nothing on Sigourney Weaver, but Sigourney Weaver is.
Nobody has anything on Sigourney Weaver.
She's a fucking national treasure.
Ain't nobody got. Oh my God, Bridget Jones mad about The Boy. They're filming it right now.
That's the one I was just talking about.
Yes.
It has what's her tits in it? I think Emma Thompson's in it.
You said what's her tits?
What's her tits? I don't know.
I think you said Emma, and I was like, oh, I just want Emma. What's her name?
Oh,
No.
Isla Fisher, however you say her name, is in it.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, I do too.
Lies. I have to say, the aliens in this movie, I think, are really well designed. I think that
they're very cool looking.
Oh yeah. The whole Vanta Black thing is super fucking
What is
cool.
okay?
Yes,
You've said
the
that now
blackest
twice.
black ever to black.
What is
Vanta
Vanta
Black absorbs 99.965% of visible light. It can be created at 752 degrees Fahrenheit. It's basically a paint that it's not black because there's literally nothing there. So you know how like when they were moving,
black is the lack of color, right?
Yeah, and then Vanta Black is the lack of light in color.
That's.
Do they say
black.
Do they say Vanta Black in this film, or is it just
They don't.
Okay.
But that's just an observation.
Okay.
Like if you ever if you Google Vanta Black, you can see like it's wild. They've made the color. I say that like made for cars and stuff. Like they did a BMW in it in like the color, and it's cool, but it's not obviously true.
Yeah.
Well,
I
okay,
mean,
no, this one is.
How is anyone ever gonna see a Vanta Black BMW because they don't use the turn signal and it's Vanta Black? So how that's the whole joke. Like, if you ever think your job is pointless, remember someone installs turn signals on BMWs. And you go, yeah.
That's hilarious. I've never heard that before.
You never heard that before? Yeah, that's a very much BMW drivers drive like assholes. And
apparently
that is true. Yeah, I had a buddy that had a BMW, and he's a fucking asshole. He also didn't know shit about cars because he when he was driving home, he there's a stretch of highway that you can take through Arkansas that's like kind of windy, so a lot of people like to drive it, and they do like they haul ass. So he's like, well, I had the BMW, I wanted to really get into it, and it was one of the sporty BMWs. So he was like, I stopped at a gas station. I was like, let me top the oil off because it's been a little bit. So he proceeds to put what he thought was oil into his car. It was fucking transmission fluid.
No.
And he blew his motor on the way home. So that's a BMW driver right there. They don't know shit about fucking cars.
It's like I have money, so I know about cars. No, you don't, motherfucker. No, you don't.
I build trucks for a living, and I don't know fucking shit about cars or trucks. Yeah. I take the parts to where I need to fucking take them. And before that, I just tightened the bolt they told me to tighten.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Just because I live around the automotive industry literally my whole life doesn't mean I fucking know anything about it.
It doesn't mean you know shit. But like the very, very, very black monkey things. What do they call them? Dogs. They call them wolves mixed with
they call them all sorts of things.
Yeah. But that combined with the neon green teeth is a really like interesting
very cool
look.
Yeah, I liked that effect a lot.
It's very much like the contrast, right? I didn't mention you, Poodle.
Oh, really quick, just because I didn't want somebody thinking that I was saying Vanta Black was made by MIT, but MIT did push out a darker color because it's 99.96% instead of 99.95 or some shit. Anyway,
What's
sorry.
what's
It
the
was just an
MIT
interesting-
color called?
What I don't remember what it was. Oh wait, nope, I closed that window. Whoops.
Okay, Ken, did you figure out what the budget of Attack the Block was?
Oh, I can tell you what that is.
I've got it.
Oh, there you go.
8 million GBT,
Great Britain
and
pounds.
it earned 10.6 million worldwide, 31 million in post theatrical business. But they're not expecting a part 2 just based on that alone.
I
Yeah.
I very much think that this movie, I think it caught my attention because this is back in the time when I was watching like or reading Ain't It Cool News. Like this movie was so like about Ain't It Cool News. If you don't know about Ain't It Cool News, it's a website that used to be like hipster movie stuff, and like Harry Knowles, I still think is a really cool dude in the industry, like for like reporting like this kind of stuff. But I think they talked about this film back then, and it got a lot of press like from that stuff, but like never like got a big. I mean, neither one of you two had ever watched it before this, and like. But man, I think this is just such a fun little movie that like. They did a lot with 8 million pounds, man. That's pretty fucking impressive, actually. And
Yeah.
like
There were a lot of people in this movie. I think that's something that I miss in movies a lot post COVID, is you don't get movies with huge casts as much anymore. Like, I mean, you do, but yeah, it just feels like your casts are really small and like everything's really confined. Like even, oh God, what was the movie with the vampire daughter?
Abigail.
Abigail. Yeah, like Abigail. It felt like that movie could have had a huge cast. I mean, granted, it didn't need it, but like that was just the first one that pops to mind. But it feels like since COVID, we've gone from these huge, giant productions with multiple people to like these tiny little groups. And it's just,
Dude, I mean,
kind of miss it.
as we're talking about it, like we're talking about it a lot in the last couple of months about these movies just fucking failing in the box office, right? And it's like
it's a slug fest right now. Like it's awful. Like
Yep.
the box office this year is just dog shit.
Yeah.
And it's not because of lack of quality, in my opinion, because like I said, I watched Fall Guy. That movie was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie's so fucking good. It's
Yeah.
hilarious too. Like Aaron Taylor Johnson is so cringy fucking funny in it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Aaron
basically-
Taylor Johnson's in that.
He's
Yeah, he basically plays Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
they talk
he's
about
hot
Tom
as
Cruise a lot.
Fuck. He is so
Who, Aaron
hot.
Taylor Johnson?
Yes,
yeah,
I
he's gorgeous,
cannot wait
yeah.
for Craven the Hunter to come out. Just so
Dude,
I
Yeah,
can
that movie.
Google
That
it.
movie-
I am going to watch that movie.
It's
only
gonna be
because I
bad.
like Aaron
It's
Taylor
gonna be-
Johnson, but I
that
just
movie-
think
Oh, I'm
Dude.
sure it's gonna be shit. I don't care. He's
Yeah.
hot as fuck.
he's
Dude,
gorgeous. Yeah,
those trailers. I'm like, dude, those trailers are worse than Morbius and Madam Web, and both of those movies were
I hope
like,
it means that they're better than those movies because I did watch Madam Web. I forgot to tell you guys I watched Madam Web and it's so fucking bad.
I don't
Ugh.
even, dude.
I can't bring myself to watch it. I would
It's
like
not
to
good.
because I like
you know
the
you should
actresses.
because I
but
think that everybody needs to experience a rainy day so you can really appreciate the
Dude,
sunny ones.
I
You
was
should
fine with-
definitely watch
that's
it.
valid. That's valid.
I was fine with Morbius because Matt Smith was in it. I was like, okay, I could do this, and I was like, okay, at least Matt Smith. There doesn't seem to be a redeeming quality of Madam Web. Like there doesn't seem to be.
There isn't. That's
yeah.
the funny thing about it. Morbius was at least entertaining because
Yeah.
Morbius was entertaining. It was entertaining and it was bad, but it was kind of almost so bad it's good in a way.
Yeah.
It didn't quite get there. It wasn't like Cobra. Have you ever seen Cobra, Ken?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I think we talked about Cobra like a couple times already.
Yeah, we got to watch Cobra. but yeah, it doesn't quite touch this so bad it's good. But it was entertaining. It had an entertaining fact. There's nothing fun about Madam Web at all. It's
Yeah.
fucking awful. It
Dude.
is soulless. And poor Dakota Johnson, you can tell she realized what she got into day one and checked the fuck out.
Yeah, well, and I mean, people said that too in like in interviews and shit. And then people were dragging her and calling her a nepo baby and stuff. And I was like,
Dude.
who gives a fuck, man? Like, good for them. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Also,
Honestly, I think she's actually really pretty
I
good
think
actor.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think
Dude.
she's a really good actor.
She signed up for it, and then they changed the script like 87
They did,
times.
yes. They
And
did.
it's just
I don't,
Yeah.
because she hasn't been super kind about the movie when they've
No.
interviewed her about it. She really hasn't. But hearing all the shit that I'm not gonna lie, I don't fucking blame her. Be like,
Yeah.
dude, you signed me on to do a movie, and then I filmed a fucking completely different fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
some
It's so
that's
it's the
some bullshit.
it's the
That's
bullshit.
like going to apply to work at Taco Bell and walking out of a fucking Burger King.
I mean, at least you didn't say Arby's, because then it would have been like, and then there's a lot of
we
you know,
have your grandpa.
meaty
We
vagina
have.
talk.
You're great, Aunt Susan.
Dude, I don't know. It's so funny though, because watching Attack the Block is just like, it's that movie where like they just take a very cool concept and then they just put it and they focus it really well, right? Like it's that thing where they got a bunch of kid actors, they do a cool like simple alien invasion movie, but they do something cool with it because it's the whole like the Queen thing. And it's the most like, oh, these guys saved the world on accident because they had to act like tough kids, and like going after the one that bit John Boyega, and it ends up she was the queen or whatever, the one female, and they basically saved the planet, because if they hadn't done that, they would have like had a bunch of babies and eaten everyone in the world. But I think that this movie is like, it's just fun. Like it's just a fun movie. Like it's a fun monster movie. It's a fun alien movie. It's a fun like it does a lot of cool, interesting things. It does a lot of like the stuff that like the scene where John Boyega is taking the queen down to the the female down to his apartment, is where they go slow-mo, is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I loved that. That was so good.
It's like the best scene in the movie, I think. Like, and but there's
it's up there, yeah.
It's that stuff where they have these really funny kids, like the kid stuck in the fucking.
That's what I really liked most about the movie, and I'm glad you started to touch on that, because they really give you a lot of really fun characters to kind of follow. Some of them are little shit bags, and you're like, you don't really fucking give a shit about them at first, but then they start to grow on you because you see why they are the way they are, especially Moses.
Yeah.
And because I'm not gonna lie, like when I first started the movie, I was like, I hope these little bastards get fucking ate.
Yeah.
And then 30 minutes into it, I'm like, well, I want a couple of them to live.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and then
really
by
like
the
that
end of the
they're
movie,
like-
I'm like, I'm really glad it was only the fucking one kid that got his head yanked off. You know.
I love that, like, they're talking to her and trying to be like, she's like, you guys robbed me, and they're like, yeah, and then we saved you. Like, get over it.
Yeah.
We
It's
wouldn't
like,
have bugged
honestly-
you if we would have known that you lived here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it is. It's they all these kids have cool little personalities, and then there's and including the two little ones, like
The two
Yeah.
little
what was
9-year-olds.
their fucking names.
They-
I
kept-
can't remember their names.
They kept saying their real names.
And Probs.
Mayhem and Probs. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were fucking awesome.
Yeah, they were so cute.
I
Yeah, they were
laughed.
so adorable.
That's one of the funniest scenes in the movie, is where they they take the gun from the kid, and it's a pop gun or whatever. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
why do you check, you dumb motherfuckers? And it's like,
You're right,
yeah,
exactly.
it's like, how did you not wait till like the fucking things are like outside your window to try to fucking shoot them with this gun that this. Also, there's no fucking like fake. I mean, maybe there are some, but like the gun, the heaviness of a fucking metal pistol compared to a fucking cap gun or pop gun or whatever the fuck, you're like,
I
"Oh,
don't
okay."
know. You'd be surprised. Some cap guns and some like airsoft guns and shit, they feel legit.
I mean, it's that whole like, that's why you have to have like that orange painted part on them. Yeah, and I understand that, but like, it's like, goddamn, man. I just think it's funny because it's more of the like, these kids acting like they're thugs, and they're not really. They're troublemakers, but they're not. It's just like trying to get by in the ghetto, right? And like, it's the whole thing where like you're just trying to make sure like they don't end up with the drug dealers, like in the whole like. I mean, that's the secondary thing, right? Is the drug dealer is the real bad guy of the film, and when they hit him and he's like, dude, it's like that fucking rap song he has that's throughout this whole. They're like, bap, 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 bap. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. And then Nick Frost is like, man, I just work here, man. It's just that when him and Nick Frost and the other the white dude are just like on the couch, just high as shit, watching like like cartoons or whatever the fuck.
It's great. The reveal of that was funny because it shows them two sitting on there, and then like all of a sudden the actor's name is Luke Treadwell, I think.
Yeah.
Is what his name was. He just lets it out because the way it came in, you didn't even see him hit it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he just goes. It's like, oh Jesus Christ! He held that in for a while. Fucking champ.
And also, I hang out with Classy Katie, and I'm one of her mods. She is a giant pothead, and she has informed us as a former respiratory therapist that holding your weed in does not make it hit harder. So all you're doing is depriving yourself of oxygen. So you inhale your weed and then like let it out. So if you're a weed smoker, you take that into note. So you don't need to hold it in your lungs for 8 hours. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It does not do it. It doesn't do anything additional.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely writing that down after.
It's Brian won't remember
because the problem is like when I get high, I'll forget that.
Usually I'll do like 2 puffs and then I start coughing so hard and then I'm like, all right, time to go to bed. Bye. That's it.
I'm more of an edible guy nowadays anyway, though.
Yeah.
I don't think the last time I even smoked like anything weed related, it's probably been over 10 years. I've been an edible guy for a long time.
I don't know if they do edibles here. They have like, legal weed, but there's also people that like drink THC here, which is just so weird. We've talked about it before, but like it's so weird.
It's all, I mean, weed can be done in many, many, many ways. Like, as I see, like, living in Colorado, I see people, like, drinking weed and smoking weed and putting weed on it as, like lotion and shit like that. So you could get weed in lots of different ways. So, I have to say that, like, I think that, like, this movie, it kind of reminds me a lot of, like, District 9, where it's, like, that alien, like, it's a smaller budget, like, sci-fi movie that does, like, this does more horror than, like, that movie does, but, like, it's that thing where, like, they do that smaller, like, budget, but they do a lot with that smaller budget, and like Ken was saying that they're never going to do a sequel to that, and they've been trying to do a budget sequel to District 9 for a really long time. I don't think they ever will.
Yeah.
But it's funny watching, what's his name? Cooper, what's that guy's name? The guy from District 9. He was in Monkey Man, and he was in fucking Boy Kills World this year. And I'm like,
that's what I wanted to watch. Damn it.
Ken, I want you to watch Boy Kills World on your booty so that, like, you'll know that, like, you'll be like, Boy Kills World. Okay. If you stare at your own booty in the mirror. I don't know if you stare at your own booty in the mirror, but here we are. Brian stares at his own booty in the mirror.
Yep.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
Were you expecting an argument?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I want to say how many times that this movie also does, like, the kid doing the running away in the pizza delivery motorbike.
Oh God, hilarious.
That was great. Yeah. I laughed really hard at that one.
I mean, I just think that this movie it's one of those movies that, like, yeah, it's not perfect. But it's one of those movies where you're like, this movie is done with so much heart. And that's all, like, heart is so, like, I think heart is just so contextual for me into a movie being something that, like, I find entertaining. Like, if someone is obviously, like, that's why I say, like, The Room is a terrible fucking movie, but Tommy Wiseau loved what he was doing, was trying to do something cool, and it comes across, even though it's a terrible
That's why
movie.
it's watchable.
Yeah.
That's
it's
why
like
that movie's watchable.
It's a terrible movie. But like, it's that thing where, like, it gives it, and you can see it and you go, okay, these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's like so much better than like something like Sharks of the Corn, which is a reoccurring joke on this podcast, where like these people had no idea what they're doing, didn't care, were trying to make money off the movie, not like because they loved film. And it's like, no, stop it. And it's the same thing, like Skinamarink, terrible fucking movie, but like the fucking, you could tell that the guy cares. Not for fucking me. That movie, I mean, we've talked about it. Brian likes it. Ken and I would rather shoot ourselves in the dick.
I have an appreciation for it. I think it's probably the most accurate way to describe it. But it's not a movie I'll sit there and just fucking watch because I want to watch a movie.
I'm bored.
There's no rewatchability in Skinamarink at all.
I don't think there's any watchability in Skinamarink.
Fair.
Yep.
That's
I
very
hated
fair.
that movie. Oh my god.
But I don't know. I just think this movie was such a cool thing. I even like, dude, the poster, which is like they take fucking the block, which is like a housing project, right? And they just shoot up at them, and it looks cool. And it's like, I just think that everything about this movie is like, and of course they go from the producer Shaun of the Dead because you have the Nick Frost ties and everything like that. And
Well, Edgar Wright produced
Yeah.
this movie. So,
yeah. And it's just, you could tell. I mean, Edgar Wright is very much like, reminds me a lot of like British Quentin Tarantino, where the motherfucker like loves movies, you know, and just, I mean, go watch
He hasn't made a bad one yet.
Yeah, I mean, Last Night in Soho, we talked about in this podcast. That movie is fucking fantastic. It's weird as shit.
I love that movie.
It's
it
weird.
is, but I love that movie. So
yeah.
good.
And that movie went places I wasn't expecting, but it's just like, it's, Shaun of the Dead is one of my favorite zombie movies. It's funny because like, I love horror comedy so much. Like Shaun of the Dead and Zombieland are probably my two favorite zombie movies of all the time. Up there with, what was it? Night of the Dead. What's the one from the 80s with the naked chick dancing on the gravestones? Is that Night of the Living Dead?
Return of the Living Dead.
Return of the Living Dead. Yeah, I love fucking. That movie is one of my favorite zombie movies too, even though I can't remember the title.
That's because it's the best zombie movie ever fucking made.
Yeah.
Return of the Living Dead is fucking massive.
Yeah, that movie is so good, man.
It doesn't surprise me that you like that movie, as it was directed by Dan O'Bannon, who wrote your favorite movie of all time.
Alien.
Yeah.
Alien is my favorite movie of all time.
I know that. Dan O'Bannon wrote and directed Return of the Living Dead, so that doesn't surprise me that you like that.
Yeah, I mean, that movie's fantastic. But like, it just all goes back, and it's just like, if you have heart and you're doing, that's why I hate what Peter Jackson's doing these days. I'm like, Peter Jackson, you turned The Hobbit into 3 movies. Unnecessarily. And then I just want you to make Dead Alive. I just want you to make movies like Dead Alive for the rest.
I know,
of your,
right?
Yeah, just make Dead Alive and then just do cool shit, and I'll be happy.
There was a time when he was a schlocky fucking shitty horror movie maker, and he made one fucking Academy Award winning. Well, he made
3 of them.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy is fucking great. Obviously,
Obviously
it's not. It's fantastic, and then he struck gold there. And now I'm like, what are you, too good to fucking reach back to your roots, bro? We just want Dead Alive shit. Like, what was the fucking Muppet, the Fraggle Rock one that he did?
I know what you're talking about.
Meet the Feebles.
Meet the puppets.
Feebles.
Yeah, it was like puppets, like in their like R-rated shit. I've never seen that.
Yes, he directed Meet the Feebles too. Oh, you've never seen Meet the Feebles?
Like,
we gotta watch that.
It was like the Muppet Show, but like R-rated as fuck, right?
Yeah, it's like the Muppets and Fraggle Rock meet.
That's the reference in Bob's Burgers, the episode where they're on the boat and there's like the. Yep. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, where he's like, where the puppet was trying to get money out of Gene.
Yeah, Meet the Feebles, baby.
That and the other one, the alien invasion one he did back then. I think we should do it for Frighteners at some point because the Frighteners.
Oh, I love the Frighteners. That's such an underrated movie.
Yeah, that was my first Peter Jackson movie. Actually, I think it was the Frighteners.
I think that was probably. No, that was my second one because I definitely seen Dead Alive at that, but before that.
Man, that movie was not like you watched that.
I just didn't realize that. At the time I really wasn't like I didn't consider myself like a movie nerd. I just considered myself a horror nerd, and I didn't really pay attention to like who made what.
Well, yeah,
and I started paying attention to that later.
But that movie was not very well known, is what I'm saying. That was
Dead
more
Alive.
the point.
No, it wasn't. But I had seen it because
I want to say because I didn't watch The Frighteners when it first came out.
Yeah.
I watched The Frighteners when I was in the military. And,
Okay.
But I had watched it well after I had watched Dead Alive. I also watched Dead Alive for the first time when I had first joined the military in '97.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine was like one of his favorite movies, and you know we were both horror nerds. You know, I'm like, oh, I love horror movies, and we're watching. I'm like, that's fucking fantastic. You know,
Dude,
but then I watched The Frighteners later. I didn't see Frighteners when it
Dude,
came out.
that fucking thing's spitting into the pudding or whatever is still one of the grossest fucking things of all time, man. That scene is just like,
Yeah, a little bit.
okay.
I can't wait to tell you what we introduced Warren to.
What did you? Okay,
here later.
I mean we're wrapping up. What did you guys introduce Warren to?
Okay, so yeah, as you guys know, that I am also part of the We're Gonna Make You Watch podcast.
Yeah.
And we always introduce my best friend Warren to a new horror movie every other week, and we just made him watch Reanimator.
How did that go?
It went fucking fantastically. It was so good because it's not that he gets scared, so to speak. The reason he doesn't watch horror movies is because he doesn't like gore. So we made him watch Reanimator.
That's incredible.
And it was fantastic. But I will say, he's a fucking champ, man. Like,
Dude,
he saw through the gore and was able to appreciate the beauty that is fucking Reanimator.
That just reminds me, friend of the show, Freddie, who I just from the Nightlight podcast, just was posting pictures of them hanging out with Barbara Crampton in fucking LA.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm like,
I got to meet her in Texas, and she's such a sweetheart.
Dude, she seems like the sweetest. Like, and also her in From Beyond in that leather fucking outfit. Oh, she's still a sexy lady in her.
She's still a
fucking
banger,
60s.
yeah. She's still fucking gorgeous.
But like, man, her in that From Beyond is fucking fantastic.
She's so little.
Is she
so little?
How tall is she?
She's so little. Probably 5'3", 5'4". Yeah, she's so little. I mean, I'm only 6 feet. You're like what, 6'3", 6'4"?
6'3".
6'3". Yeah,
6
you're
million.
6 million.
I always forget. I always forget how tall he
again?
is. I'm 5'5".
5'5". Okay, so yeah.
So like Josh and I are both 6'3" when we started this, and then King comes and joins in. It's like little Ken with giant.
I didn't know
Josh
Josh was 6'3" too.
Yeah, Josh is also 6'3".
That's
I always forget that they're tall, and then like one day we were doing the Skidamarink bullshit, and we had our cameras like flipped all kinds of weird ass ways, and we're like, here, like we started the podcast with him, and Rods had fallen down and was like looking at his crotch, but it was mainly his legs, and I was like, holy fuck, I forgot that you're tall, because his like legs are like this long.
Dude, I'm all legs. That's like why like people never understand that, like from watching me stream, that I'm as tall as I am, because it's all legs. It's like, dude, my fucking last ex was like 5'5", and we would sit down next to each other, and we'd be like the same fucking like face length, like, you know, height. Because it's all legs. It's just legs for fucking days, and yeah, I'm just like, just
yeah. I didn't realize you were that tall until I saw like I think it was back when I used to have like a personal Twitter.
Yeah.
You posted something. It was like you with a friend, and you towered over them, and I was like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea you were that tall.
It was funny. I had my I did a blood thing. Like it was like a checkout for my health for my job, and they're like, we're gonna go do your height now at Quest. And she's like, are you 6'3"? I'm like, yeah, about that. And she's like, oh, okay, because she couldn't. This woman was so short she couldn't read the fucking how tall I was. So yeah,
that's funny.
Okay, one of you two fuckers pick something to watch next week, because I have been picking shit. So pick something. One of you two.
Why would you put me on the spot like this?
I don't know.
Prom Night 2.
What?
Prom Night 2.
Prom Night 2.
Kids never even seen Prom Night, Brian.
Have I?
Prom Night.
No, I don't. I refuse to watch Prom Night. No.
Then
I think
Prom
I've
Night
seen
2.
Prom Night.
I will watch Prom Night 2.
I'm watching both of them.
If you really want, Brian. I will. What?
I don't want to force you to do anything. You know.
I know. No, I am always willing to watch whatever, Brian. But Mary Lou Boo 2. Isn't
But
that?
you see, the thing is you've already seen the movie, so you don't really need to watch it. We
Yeah.
just need her to watch it.
I mean, Ken said.
But then
Yeah.
we do have to talk about it.
I don't know, man. Maybe we just figure it out and tweet out what we're gonna watch. I don't know.
Actually, there was a movie that I was actually considering asking you guys if you wanted to give a shot to. Let me Ken talk so I can look up this.
I am
can't
also
remember.
looking things up.
Ken.
Oh,
Okay.
Rod talk.
Sorry.
Okay. So this is the thing that we are very by the via the seat of the what the fuck am I talking about? The seat of
Have
the
we done
pants.
Tusk?
No.
Ooh.
Oh no, I don't
What
want
was
to.
the impressive
Oh, okay, I'll do Tusk. I don't want to though. I hate.
You
Tusk.
don't have to. I was just asking.
No, you could do it, Ken. I know you love that movie. I'm gonna be fucking not happy the entire time, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
That might make for a pretty good episode. little butt hurt cranky Rod.
I don't like Tusk at all, but I will do it for the podcast. That movie just. Yeah.
I'm
I
not
will
going to tell you what I think of the movie. We'll
Yeah.
just find
Okay.
out.
We'll do Tusk then.
I was just throwing it because it popped up and I was like, oh, that looks like I
We could
remember
do-
that.
No.
That's
You
been a
guys-
minute.
We could
No.
do.
No, I guess we're doing Tusk. I hate it.
We can do
but
Tusk.
We'll do
We can do
Tusk. Okay, guys.
I
Okay.
think Rod wants to do Tusk.
No, I
oh, by
don't.
the way, that's why Rod is called Rod the Cod. It's because he's very tall, so he has a giant penis.
What is what? But what is Rod the? Okay, I've never understood that, Ken. What is Rod the Cod? Why is cod associating me with a fish have anything to do with my giant wiener?
Because penises are also known as cods.
What?
You've never heard the term codpiece?
I have.
Wait, Rod, this whole time you thought I was calling you a fish? It was in reference to your cock.
I know. I understood that you were, but I didn't get why. I'm gonna sit here.
He literally wants to lock himself in a fucking.
This is beautiful. I
He
can't
is
wait
so
to
embarrassed
stream
right now. I
this
love
from
it.
the sky tomorrow.
I mean, it will
God,
be.
we were
Ki-
talking-
I don't know. Okay. Herdermoose.com.
You don't go to
buy-
Ren fairs enough.
No, I don't. I've only. That's because the one here is a fucking clusterfuck, and yeah.
Oh, you need to come visit me in Kansas City, bro. We spend the weekend together. I'll take you to Renfest. We'll have a good time.
I will come visit
I'm gonna do
Brian,
that.
and we will sword fight.
Yeah.
I mean,
With your big cod.
You get with your
Exactly.
sword and my
AKA
fucking dagger.
Your fish.
What?
go to murdermoose.com
God.
and buy gear and merchandise, and then after that you can go to continue.com and figure out where Continue is and watch Ken do her Twitch thing, and then you can watch
We're
Brian.
playing a lot of RimWorld. Come tell me how to do things gooder
Yep.
than what I am. I launched pods today for the first time, and I have almost all wood structures out of my base. You're welcome.
I run around in Ken's base and do bad things for her, so like
Rod is always somehow one of my pawns, and he is always doing stupid shit. Right now, he's behaving though, so
It won't last. We'll just be real. So go watch Ken at twitch.tv/continue, and then check out Brian's other podcasts because he's awesome. And then go follow me on Twitch at Rod_Johnston, and then Twitter, and then yeah, all those things. So and buy my book. Buy my book.
Please do.
The Death and
Please
Rebirth
do.
of a
It's
Human Heart.
good.
Go do this thing. So
I love
okay,
it.
buy
guys,
it.
we love you. So next week, Tusk. Why are you doing this to me? We will catch you guys next week. We love you. So have a good one. We love you. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.